How's everybody doing? So what have I got in my hand? This is the Sega Nomad, which you may or may not have been familiar with. So what exactly is this little handheld? Believe it or not, this is a handheld Sega Genesis. I believe these were made towards the tail end of the Sega Genesis life cycle. As you can see, it's got the 6 buttons, which is great. Completely handheld. It's got a nice little screen on it. You can actually hook it to a TV. So that's kind of cool. And you can hook another controller up to it. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you've got a headphone jack, volume control, and let me look here. Brightness control. Standard. It's pretty good little system. Yeah, this is interesting. So Sega already had the Game Gear, which arguably was as good, if not better, than the Game Boy at the time. But I think it was a little too expensive. Here's a Game Boy for comparison. So the Sega Nomad's about the same size. It's thicker than a Game Boy. I said Game Boy, Game Gear. So it's pretty neat. Yeah, this is a pretty cool thing. I got this about 2009-ish off of Amazon, back when Amazon was still a relatively new thing. I think at the time I paid only like $17 for this. It's not in great shape, and we'll show you. This knob here, where the AC adapter plugs in, kind of goes in and out, so I gotta be careful. It had a thing in the back where you could put a battery pack, very similar to the, if not exactly the same as the Game Gear. Yeah, I could hold a battery pack. So that's kind of neat. I think that's all it did. Yeah, it doesn't have battery slots, but it had the battery pack. So let's try it out. And what good games to try it out with than Space Jam. I said Space Jam. My mind is in a completely different place today. It's NBA Jam. Did they make a Space Jam game? I'm sure they did, but that was like 97. So apparently there's a lot of loading screens. As you can see, here I'll zoom in. It looks pretty good. Screen might have a little screen issues from this being so old. But for the most part, it's pretty good. You can see a little bit of the lighting at the bottom. It's got maybe there's some lighting at the bottom, but it's mostly backlit. This one just isn't in the best condition, but it does good for what it is. You can hear the sound is good. Let's put my name as Bud, because that's funny. Yep. So there you go. It's a pretty neat game. I don't know why I chose the cows, but there we are. Press start. Press start button. So it's got start button and mode, and all that fun stuff. Sound is good. Even as old as this with, I mean, it looks great. Screen tearing, screen blurring isn't bad. I forgot how to play NBA Jam. It's hard to see through a viewfinder too. But there you go. It's pretty good. I'll show you one more game just to show how it looks. And why not go with Eternal Champions? And I don't know what I just dropped on the floor, but hopefully it wasn't important. I think this is a pretty rattly cartridge, but I think it works. I have like 2 or 3 Eternal Champions cartridges. I have no idea why. I think I forgot I had it, and I bought it for like $3 or $4 back before the boom of nostalgia. That's where I got most of my old handhelds. Early to mid 2000s, right before. Yeah, it looks like it's locked up. Let's try it again. before nostalgia really took off, I bought most of my game stuff, including a Sega CDX, which is another neat one. I might show it at least on what the unit looks like. CDX was basically a Genesis and Sega CD all-in-one that looked like a Walkman, or Discman, I should say. So yeah, it's pretty good. I don't know if feeling with the brightness, it does make it a little easier to see. Well, how about that? So yeah, does great. Of course, in this day and age, now you can do emulation, and most of these games have been released on consoles, even so, or in collections. But yeah, I do recommend. These are a little pricey now, I do believe, but if you can find one and you just like it for nostalgia, I say go for it. They're pretty neat. This one, as you see, has seen some love. But there you go, the Sega Nomad. It's a pretty cool little console.